opportunity for a special announcement.
Good evening. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Richard Nixon for making this whole thing possible. Pierre, do you really think this will work?
Well, we all feel that it will, sir. After all, we've done the press conference on TV in the afternoon for a long time now, and we thought it would be a nice change of pace if we did it in the evening. And, of course, more people watch at night, sir.
Well, that sounds reasonable. I don't know about these changes you've suggested.
Well, it's different in the evening, Mr. President. We've got to dress it up a bit.
Well, okay, Pierre, let's try it once.
On the air in 10 seconds. Stand by.
Live from the White House in Washington, D.C.
Presenting An Evening with JFK. Press conference is on the air. Questions and answers from everywhere. On the market today. Your press conference is on the air.
Yes, well, let me say...
No, not yet, Jack.
Famous newsmen are on the scene. They're left or right or they're in between. From the New York Times to Playboy magazine. Famous newsmen are on the scene.
Yes, let me say
Jack,
this tonight.
not yet.
This press conference is aimed at you. With world fight people fresh and new. Honest answers, we've got them too. This press conference is for one. And now, here he is. The star of our country. JFK.
Good evening. How sweet it is. First question, how about you, the gentleman in the rear?
Yes, sir. I'd like to ask.
Louder, I can't hear.
There's a rumor going round about young Caroline, your daughter. She had another birthday. What is it that you bought her?
We like to keep young Caroline on an even keel. We bought her an erector set, Bethlehem steel. The newsman that is seated there with him, I will ad-lib. I can tell from his evil eye he's from the Herald Trib.
Sir, there is a question the nation wants to know. Would you tell us, have you seen your White Plate TV show?
I haven't as yet seen my wife's TV extravaganza. How can I when it's always on, opposite Bonanza? There's a lady reporter whose questions haunt me like the Asian plague. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gents. Here is Mrs. Craig.
I'd like to ask a question. I don't want you to get sore. Will Rockefeller be president in 1964?
If I were living in New York, he'd be my candidate. It's the only way I know to get him out of New York State. Well, that's the way it is, my friends, the end of this week's show. And now I'd like to say one thing before I have to go. I have had a wonderful time answering in rhythm and rhyme. Your questions have been really sublime, so I've had a wonderful time. This has been a wonderful night, funnier than an evening with Dwight. And I feel like Huntley or Walter Cronkite. This has been a wonderful night. Now let me say, now let me shout. I don't know what all this is about. I confess, it's a mess. But it was either do this or get out. My advisors tell me to say, thanks, my friend, you've really been grand. Now I'd like an American hand for Lyndon Johnson, who backs me with his band. This is really been grand. We're a little late, folks, so good night.
Brought to you by the United States Kennedy Corporation, makers of President, Attorney General, and Senators.
Hello.
Hello, Jackie. I've got a big surprise for you.
Surprise.
Well, it's September 12th, 1958. It's our 5th wedding anniversary, and I found something I think you like.
What is it? Tell me.
Well, it's a house I want you to look at. Meet me at 3 in front of the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Our 5th anniversary, and you remembered. I'm a lucky girl, married to such a thoughtful young senator from Massachusetts. I had better hurry if I'm going to be there by 3. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Jackie. I'd like you to meet the renting agent, Mr. Paul Butler.
How do you do, Mr. Butler?
It's a pleasure meeting you. Well, there's your house. How do you like it?
Oh, it certainly is nice and large.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the Pentagon. You see, over there, that's the house I'm renting. The white one with the column. Oh. You'll like it. I know you will. It's in excellent condition. You see, for 6 years now, the only tenants have been an elderly couple. A retired general and his wife.
Is there room for children?
Oh, we'll make room. We'll tear out the putting green.
And sure, one more thing. Is there a Catholic church nearby?
Well, no, not at the moment. There's never been a call for one.
What about shopping?
Oh, yes. There's a shopping center that includes a shoe repair shop, a drugstore, a movie house, and a large supermarket.
Where is it located?
In the West Wing.
Well, it sounds good to me.
Well, of course, we'll need 2 references from responsible people. You do know 2 responsible people.
Certainly. There's my brother Bobby, and there's my brother Teddy.
Yes, well, what do they do?
It's not what they do now that counts. It's what they're going to be doing if I take this house.
Please, you really should take it. Well, what do you say?
What do you think, Jackie?
If it's really what you want, dear.
Well, how long a lease do we get, Mr. Butler?
4 years. But if you like, I think I can get it for 4 more.
All right, I'll take it on one condition.
Well, what's that, sir?
I want an option to buy.
Gentlemen of the Secret Service, I have called the 36 of you together because of a very distressing situation. No, quiet, please. I want this thing cleared up now. I don't mean later, I mean right now. You hand-picked agents have been in charge of Caroline since the beginning, and you have distinguished yourselves one way or another. Now, suddenly, a blot on the department record. Agent Schwartz, rise. You, Agent Schwartz, are in trouble. Schwartz, you've been accused and found guilty of an unforgivable action. Unfortunately for all, Caroline's young friends caught you smoking while you were dressed in your howdy-doody suit. Agent Schwartz, the repercussions of your act will not be stilled for many a year, and it is only right and proper that your punishment be meted out by your own colleagues gathered here.
Sir, I'm prepared to take my punishment, whatever it may be.
Men, are you ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, men, give it to him. Shame on Agent Schwartz! Shame on Agent Schwartz!
Pierre? Why are we stopping?
Well, I don't know, sir. There's a man up ahead flagging us down.
Howdy, gentlemen. Welcome to Akula County.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now, if you will just tell us what the trouble is, we're kind of in a hurry.
Well, the trouble is you're in too much of a hurry. You have exceeded the speed limit, and thereby you have broken the law.
Excuse me, Sheriff, but this is the President of the United States.
Well, it's a very great honor to meet you, sir, and welcome you to Akula County, and you're under arrest.
Now, look, sir, we're in a hurry to get to Camp David. And these 67 cars are filled with dignitaries, and we must move ahead with vigor.
Well, I'm afraid not. They're under arrest, too.
Here, get on the car phone and call the mayor.
Yes, sir.
You can go and call the mayor, but he's not in his office.
Where is he?
Speaking.
All right, let's get to court and get this over with. We're really in a hurry.
Well, if you're in that much of a hurry, I guess I can accommodate you. This court is now in session. Judge Harlow Tompkins presiding. You have been brought before this court on charges of speeding by Sheriff Harlow Tompkins. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Well, I suppose you people could stay at my boarding house while we're getting together a jury. It's fishing season. Everybody's up in the mountains. I ought to be back in a week or so.
Never mind. Guilty. What is the fine? We really
Gentlemen,
must go.
you made a wise choice. Now, let's see. That's 67 cars. At $10 apiece, that's $670.
Here, pay him and let's get out of here.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I don't have that much cash with me.
Adlai?
Sorry, Mr. President, I don't have it, I'm afraid. Gentlemen, that's $670, please.
Well, that's ridiculous.
667.
Sir, would you mind letting me talk to him?
Well, Alf, it isn't necessary.
670.
I think, sir, that if at this particular time you examine the situation, sir, you will
680.
Yeah, you did it again. How about a check, sir?
Well, the only place you could get a check cash would be the bank, and it's closed.
Well, let's call the president of the bank and ask him to open the bank. Where do I find the bank president?
Speaking.
Look, sir, I've got Prime Minister McMillan and General de Gaulle waiting for me at Camp David. If you will permit us to go on to Camp David, I will get $680 and send it back to you by special messenger.
Well, I don't want you to think I don't trust you, but my mind would be considerably eased if you would leave one man behind as security. Now, I keep a nice, clean jail. I don't think he'd mind too much.
Pierre, I guess you'll...
Well, sir, I can't possibly stay. I've got all the notes.
Yes, that's right. How about you, Adlai?
I'm supposed to discuss the UN proposals.
Yes, of course. How about you, Dirksen?
Well, sir, I suppose at this particular time it would be...
That's 690.
Well, you, I guess you'd better come with us, yeah. We can't afford to leave you here. Well, how about that Army private standing over there?
Well, he's supposed to carry the flag, sir.
Oh, we'll have somebody else carry the flag and leave the private here. Now, who's going to carry the flag?
Well, I guess I can.
Thank you, Lyndon. Now, baby John, you sit there and play, and I'll go down and warm up your bottle. Now, be a good boy. That's right, honey. That's right. I'll be back in just a moment.
I have the White House on the line. Mr. Khrushchev ready to speak?
Yes, Kennedy. Hello, this is Premier of Soviet Union, Khrushchev here. I got no time for hello, how are you? Listen, Kennedy, I'm calling you directly to tell you I have signed pact with Castro. I Vladimir.
Vladimir?
Tell Fidel get the missiles out of Cuba. I never heard Kennedy so angry.
Believe me, Jack, you'll enjoy this.
Jackie, I know Mr. Casals is a great cellist. But really, you know how I feel about this kind of music.
I know, but I want you to try and enjoy it tonight. And this time, you can't leave either. We're right here in the front row, and it would be embarrassing.
Oh, all right, Jackie.
That runs the concert. Jack! Jack!
Oh, all right. Mr. Casals, wake up, please.
I am only 5 years old. My brother John is 2. We live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And I have a little song for you.
She has a little song for you.
May I, Mommy?
Yes, you may, dear.
Thank you, Mommy. Oh, I'm the first daughter of the first family of the first country in the world. But I'm really only a kid, a simple, usual kid. I'm only 5.
We had the Queen of England to a very formal affair.
I made a paper airplane and sailed it in the air.
It missed the prince by inches and did a loop-the-loop.
The Queen was flabbergasted as it crashed dive in her soup.
It was vichyssoise and delicious-wise.
I'm the first daughter of the first family of the first country in the world. But I'm really only a kid, an average American kid. Next year I'll be 6. Mr. Khrushchev's head was large and bald, and one night there was rain. We couldn't find a hat for him. It really was a pain. Daddy's hat was much too small, and Uncle's head too big. So what did I do? Why, naturally, I gave him Mommy's wig.
It was my Peggy Lee wig.
I'm the first daughter of the first family of the first country in the world. But I'm really only a kid, a normal, everyday kid.
But she's maturing.
I sat at Daddy's desk one day while he talked on the phone. I sat there by myself a while and ate an ice cream cone. The ice cream slipped right off the top. It really was a mess. Do you remember Daddy's famous chocolate State of the Union address?
Oh, she's the
then Jackie and I and Caroline moved into the White House. Jackie made a few changes, and it turned out beautifully, I thought. My first big test came, of course, with the steel industry, as you may recall. This brought me many problems. Am I going too fast for you?
No. Go right ahead.
Then, of course, there was Cuba and the Medicare program, with which I'm still having a great deal of trouble, but I am confident that I will eventually work it out to everyone's satisfaction. Now, I'd like to tell you about my strategy for my presidential campaign for 1964.
Well, would you mind telling me about it tomorrow?
Why?
Because I'm afraid your hour is up, Mr. Meader, and I've got another patient waiting.
Forward, march! Hot, 2, 3, and forward. Hot, 2, this I like. Hot, 2, 3, and forward. This is your 50-mile hike. Mile 2, 50-mile hike. Hot, 2, 3, and forward. Come on, lift your knees. Hey, yeah, how you feeling? Get me a taxi, please. Mile 3, 50-mile hike. Bobby Kennedy, how you doing? Robert Cat is carrying me. Mile 4, 50-mile hike. 1, 2, 3, and forward. Jackie, don't you frown. Hiking's really easy.
Not in an evening gown.
Mile 5, 50-mile hike. You're all doing fine. Who's that tripping Dirksen?
It's me, Caroline.
Mile 6, 50-mile hike. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 hours out of town. How's my baby John?
Our pants fell down.
Mile 7, 50-mile hike. 3.7 miles.
My feet are killing me.
How much left to go? Only 43. Come on, keep on marching, Jackie. My dear spouse, I quit. You take over. See you back at the house. Yes, move ahead, driver. Move ahead with vigor. Mile 8, 50-mile hike.
Hot, 2, 3, and 4. Hot, 2, this you like. Hot, 2, 3, and 4. Him and his 50-mile hike.
Mile 9, 50-mile hike.
Hot, 2, 3, and 4. Pierre, get off your knees. Hot, 2, 3, and 4.
Taxi, 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 please. Mile 10, 50-mile hike. Mile 11, 50-mile hike. Mile 12, 50-mile hike. Mile 13.
There's a Mr. Foster of the Internal Revenue Service to see you.
Oh, yeah, see, the tax bill. Send him in.
I'm from the Internal Revenue Service, and I'm here to investigate the 1962 tax return of Mr. John F. Kennedy.
He was here just a few minutes ago. I just don't know where he could have gone.
I'll get right to the point. How much did you make last year?
You know, he was as close to me as you are now. I just don't know where he could have disappeared to.
Please, sir, your 1962 return?
Oh, yes, my 1962 return, certainly. I made, what do presidents get?
$100,000 a year.
So that's where the 100,000 came from. It's a funny thing, Jackie and I were going over the household budget. There was this 100,000 we couldn't account for. Now, what can I do for you?
Are you salaried or self-employed?
Salaried, for the moment.
Okay, now let's check your deductions. Under medical expenses, I see you have 23 rocking chairs. Now, you must admit, sir, 23 rocking chairs is a bit much. Let's settle for 8.
10.
9.
That's a deal.
Now, you show restaurant bills here for $371,000. And only $3 in tips.
I'm from New England.
Well, I never thought of that, yeah. Now, let's see about your itemized list of travel deductions. Washington to Palm Beach, to Washington, to Hyannisport, to Washington, to Palm Beach, to Washington, to Hyannisport, to Washington.
Yes, but you'll notice the next day I didn't go anywhere.
And the rest of your return has the same extravagant claims. Now, I ask you, sir, put yourself in my position. To get a return like this is to laugh, sir. I laugh, sir. This is no laughing matter. You are in trouble with the United States government. According to these figures, which you yourself put down, you show a total income of $100,000, and your deductions amount to $2,348,617.83.
How about that?
Sir, I'm going to lay it on the line. You have obviously not reported all of your income for 1962. Now, we at the Bureau are well aware that you just sold over 4 million albums. You, sir, are the biggest selling president of all time.
No, but just a moment, Mr. Foster. That wasn't my album.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. 4 million albums and it hasn't gone to your head. Well, if it wouldn't be troubling you too much, would you, could you do one line from the album for me, the Rubber Swan line? You know, the Rubber Swan is mine. That's the thing.
Look, I tell you, I didn't do that line.
You do own a rubber swan, do you?
Well, yes, I do. But I didn't make that album.
No, of course you did. Of course you did. But look, there are just the two of us. Do the line. Nobody will hear. Go ahead.
You really want to hear me do it?
I would love to hear you do it, yes.
Well, I've only done it once or twice.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Rubber Swan is mine.
Well, I guess you didn't make the album. I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'm afraid I've made a mistake. Thank you, and good afternoon.
The Rubber Swan is mine? No? That's it. The Rubber Swan. No, that's not it. Jackie, will you bring out that silly album again? Good to get out of the house sometimes.
Yes, and I hear it's a wonderful movie. It's opening tonight, you know.
Yes, I hear the picture costs millions.
We're approaching the theater now, sir.
Sure be here.
Okay, give me 8 men on the left. My move back supposed to be coming right through here. Come on, behind the rope. Charlie, get that fella slipping under the rope. Come on, let's go, fella. Don't be a wise. Move back.
Oh, isn't she beautiful?
Jack, this is terrible. Crowds pushing and shoving.
Well, Jackie, what's the sense in kidding? It's part of the penalty of being in the public eye.
Quit shoving.
I'm not shoving. He's pushing me.
I'm not pushing. We want to see Elizabeth Taylor just as much as you do. Pierre, I just don't think this is going to work. That's the 48th boy we've interviewed. Not one of them makes any sense.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, sir, but we've gotten the most eligible kids in Washington.
Now, Caroline has her heart set on going to this birthday party. We've just got to find an escort for her.
Well, there's only one more, sir.
Well, we might as well see him. Send him in. But I doubt he'll work out.
Send that young man in, please.
How do you do, young man?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you for asking, sir. And may I say, it is an historic moment for me to stand in the shadow of a man who single-handedly challenged and defeated the
this boy.
Sir, when your intermediaries approach me and bid me to appear before you to be interviewed for this pleasurable mission, I felt the same trepidation that you must feel when faced with a critical and a hostile Congress. But with the inspiration instilled in me by a brilliant... When faced with a critical and a hostile Congress. But with the inspiration instilled in me by a brilliant treatise, Profiles in Courage, I stilled my quaking heart and came here to face you, oh brave pleader.
Something tells me that you and Caroline are going to have a lot in common.
I trust my gift of flowers to your daughter was not too presumptuous. And, sir, may I assure you that my chauffeur is her chauffeur. Her wish, my command, my disposal. Using my entire life on the magnificent image which you have created.
Pierre, tell Caroline to get dressed. Young man, you may escort Caroline to the party.
My heartfelt gratitude, sir.
By the way, what is your name, lad?
Barry Goldwater, Jr.
Now, Mr. Khrushchev, I hope you've enjoyed your stay in our country. My fellow Americans certainly wish you a safe journey home.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet you do.
Mr. Khrushchev, I hope you enjoyed the parade in your honor this afternoon.
Spitballs? Confetti with rocks? Oh, some parade. 2 Volkswagens and a bicycle.
My brother Bobby asked that you extend his felicitations to your people.
Brother in the business, huh?
Mr. Khrushchev, your political views are your own, and you are entitled to them. When you bring my family into the conversation, you're going too far, sir.
We got better Attorney General. We got better Peace Corps. We got better actor than Peter Lawford. We got better doctor than Ben Casey. You don't know how to run this country. You ought to let me help you run it.
Nicky, please, I'd rather do it myself. Now, fellas, I call the meeting of the three of us because there is a family matter that needs discussion. When I went into politics some years ago, I did not mind that the two of you decided to go into the same business. However, there is one problem that has been created as a result. Now, I'm the older brother, and I had this voice first. And I do believe that you two should find your own voices just like I did. Now, just a minute, Jack. I don't see any similarity at all. I have to admit, Jack, that Bobby's absolutely right. I don't see any similarity either. Something must be done. Now, Bobby, it might just be a matter of a change of a few words. Now, for instance, let's take a word like vigor. I say vigor. How do you say vigor? Vigor. You see, you say vigor the way I say vigor. Now, instead of saying vigor, why don't you say vigor? Vigor. Good, Bobby. See, the trick is to take the edge off the voice. The change should be significant. For instance, try this famous sentence of mine. Let me say this about that. Do not ask what your country can do for you. Ask rather what you can do for your country. Why, let me make a judgment on that. Judy, do not ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Yes, that's very good, Bobby. Perfect. Now you've got a brand new voice. Okay, Teddy, you try it.
All right, you guys. Let me make a judgment on that. Do not ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Now, no one's going to say you're copying, Teddy. You're great, just perfect.
Yeah, let me make a judgment on that. Do not ask what your country can do for you. Ask rather what you can do for your country.
Cut it out, Jackie. Jackie, where's Baby John? I want to talk to him.
Jack, I wish you'd stop calling him Baby John. After all, he's 35 years old now.
35. Yes, it is. 1996, isn't it? Here we are, retired in a little Palm Beach cottage in Hyannisport. 1996. How long ago was it that I was president?
4 years.
Well, it's been a good, rich life for all of us. Don't you think, dear?
Yes, dear.
I certainly enjoyed being president. Bobby enjoyed being president. Teddy enjoyed being president. Then I enjoyed being president again.
Whatever happened to that funny little chubby man? You know, the Russian you had so much trouble with?
Oh, you mean Nicky? But he's fine. I hear from him all the time since he defected to West Germany over the Berlin Wall. Oh, by the way, you haven't forgotten we're having a family reunion next Thursday.
Oh, yes. Where are we all getting together?
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Well, it's only for the immediate family.
That'll be nice.
Well, I guess the high point of our life is really tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes. I'm so excited.
Just think. Caroline's coronation.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's political world is complex, confusing, and bewildering. In an effort to give you a better understanding of the issues and the answers, we looked for the truth, and we found it. What you are about to hear is an actual recording made by Vaughn Meader at the Alexander Robertson School on 95th Street in Central Park West in New York City. The experts are members of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades.
Do you know who I am?
Yes.
Who am I?
You're not the president, but you're the imitator.
Who's the president?
President Kennedy.
What does President Kennedy do?
Write letters, inspect Cuba, talk to Khrushchev,
What do you think the president does? Go ahead.
sign papers and elect him.
The president's a politician.
I don't believe it.
But what would you do if you were president?
I'd sit in bed all day.
What would you do if you were president?
I'd send people to jail.
Think it'd be good to be president?
I think it would, but I'd say I don't, because everybody crowds around you. Yeah, and it gets tiring. Everybody crowds around you, and you have to always talk, and you feel like fainting.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican, Judge?
A Democrat?
Why do you think you're a Democrat and not a Republican?
Because I belong to the United States.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
I make things fly.
Are you a Democrat or a Republican?
Democrat.
You're a Democrat? What's the difference?
I don't know that.
What's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
President Kennedy was a Democrat, and I didn't remember.
What's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican?
When's that when it's in?
You're all three Democrats. Why is that better than being a Republican?
Because I'm one.
Does your daddy pay taxes?
Yeah, my family's a taxpayer, but my kitten isn't.
Who do you suppose is the greatest man in the world?
The president.
Who do you think?
My father.
And who do you think?
Jesus.
All of you know Governor Rockefeller. What do you think a governor does all day?
Collects income tax.
How many hours do you suppose a governor works in one day?
12.
How many hours does the president work?
24.
How many do you think Mayor Wagner works a day?
6.
Who knows who Mr. Nixon is? Go ahead.
Former president.
How many hours do you think Nixon works?
He doesn't.
Why doesn't Nixon work?
He's sad because he didn't become the president.
How much money would you like to make in a week?
Well, about $110.
How much money would you like to make a week?
I'd like to make $1,000 billion, $100 trillion in a minute.
Who do you think makes that much money?
Rockefeller. Rockefeller.
What is a communist?
Somebody who's not free.
Do you like Nikita Khrushchev?
Yeah.
You know who Fidel Castro is?
The premier from Cuba.
Do you like him?
I've never seen him.
Do you know who Mr. Castro is?
He's the leader of Cuba.
What does he look like?
He's bald-headed.
You know who Fidel Castro is?
A Martian. He's a bad boy.
How many other presidents can you name?
Washington, Lincoln, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy. Yeah.
Who do you think was the best one?
President. I mean, Kennedy. Kennedy.